Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you think that AI is racing ahead and you are missing out, then this is the video for you. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to take you through what LLMs are, what the main ones that I use every day, how to use them, use cases. We'll talk about some of the problems that LLMs have, etc. But today is your chance to catch up and get going with AI and large language models. I've got you. Let's get into it. Okay, so when we talk about AI, AI has been around for a long time, artificial intelligence, and it goes back a long way. And there's lots of different things like machine learning and deep learning, etc., that is part of the sort of AI universe. But I think what we're talking about today is something that happened about 3 years ago when ChatGPT first became a thing. And these are the large language models. So when I talk about AI, when we talk about the tools that we can use every day in our business, then I'm talking about large language models. And what these are models, so computer models that have been fed a whole lot of information. Effectively, they've been fed the whole internet. All of that information has been fed in. And what it does is that, and this will blow your mind, what it does is it took those words in, those phrases, and it gave them a number. And then it kept adding more in. And then each time there was a phrase that was close to that word, so say cat and hat, and they're close, then it changed the number for cat, and it would change the number for hat. And over time, it has done all of this learning with trillions and trillions of bits of information until it was able to really cleverly predict the next word or predict what the next pixel might look like in a picture or note might make in a sound, etc. So that's what LLMs are, and they work on these enormously complex neural networks that bring all of that data together. And I think what's really special about them is that gives them an opportunity to be able to answer questions, to be able to think through problems for you. And that's the real power of the LLMs. So I guess don't worry about that black box thing, that how it works. Just think about how you can use these tools. So as these LLMs have improved and you've gone from GPT 1 and 2 or Claude, etc., as they've grown, they've got more useful. They are now multimodal, so you can put pictures in, you can put sound in, you can put obviously text in, that sort of thing. You can put handwritten bits of work in. So they're becoming able to learn from much more and becoming able to interact with much more. And this is making them really powerful. Okay, let's have a look at some essential AI tools, and I'll give you a quick demo of each one. Okay, let's start off with the daddy. This is ChatGPT. In my view, absolutely the top GPT for most activities. Now, there are a whole lot of other GPTs out there. Gemini, absolutely superb, especially Gemini 2.5. Grok, which is the X version of, so Elon Musk's version, really good. Claude, really good. All of these different big models have specialties, things they're really good at, things that others are better than one another at. But to be absolutely honest, the one I use absolutely the most, the one that I go to every time is ChatGPT. And this is ChatGPT. You get it at chatgpt.com. You can search for it on Google. There are a number of different price ranges for ChatGPT, from a free model, which is absolutely fine, and where you should start if this is your first sort of foray into LLMs. But then there's a £20 a month, and then there's up to a £200 or $200 a month offering when you want access to the very top end models And in ChatGPT, you have a number of models. Hopefully, they're going to sort this out because it's a bit too complex. But effectively, as far as I'm concerned, ChatGPT 4.0 general. Use it for your day-to-day tasks. You've got a question, you need an answer, you need something quite quick, you need a picture producing. ChatGPT 4.0, absolutely superb. I'm not a big fan of 4.5, but it's pretty good if you want to write something that is pretty concise. I think it's quite good at that. 0.3 is the daddy, absolutely the daddy of models. It has agents in it. You can get it to do multiple tasks. It will do deep research, thinking, really, really cool. And then 0.4 mini, 0.4 mini high, really good for very quick tasks. But if you want the in-depth stuff, 0.3 is your baby. And there's more models. These are the old ones. Don't worry about those anymore. So 4.0 for general, 0.3 to knock it out the park, and 4.5 if you want something concise. That would be my view. And you can do lots of things. You can drop in documents, you can use search, you can do deep research, which is very, very cool. It takes some time, but it will go away and find all the latest information for you, put it in a great format for you to use, and then you can create an image. The way these work, you ask a question, it gives you an answer. There's an art to prompting, and if you go to my website, I'll put the information down below. If you go to my website, there's actually a prompt generator. You can tell it what you want to do. It will ask you some questions, and then it will give you a suitable prompt for ChatGPT, and it can save you a lot of time. Now, I've done a whole load of videos on ChatGPT, whether it's doing search, whether it's doing deep research, creating images. There's another tool called Canvas, which is really cool, and I use it all the time. I've shown you how to create custom GPTs. So when you get into it, have a little play, and then if you need to learn more, go to my channel and you will find all the videos you need. I promise you, all the videos you need to become really proficient with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, the number one, and that's where I would start if I were you. Okay, next tool in the list that I use probably every day, Perplexity. And Perplexity is effectively just a super smart search engine. So I don't use Google anymore. I can't remember that. Maybe I've used it relatively recently, but generally, if I want to find something out, I use Perplexity. Look at this video here if you want to find out all about Perplexity, how to use it. It's really strong. If you're doing a search on the web, use Perplexity. It will not only find the websites, it will then give you the answer. It'll pull it all together. Really, really powerful. It's also got a deep research function, which isn't as good as ChatGPT's, but it's pretty good. You can do things really quickly. You can create your own sort of blog pages with Perplexity. There are a number of different models that you can use in terms of paying for it. I pay for it. I think it's about $20 a month. I get all of that use out of it. Really useful. Perplexity, driven by AI, uses lots of different models. Really worth doing. Check out the video if you want to know how to use Perplexity. Really will save you a load of time and make life much easier for you to work with. Really powerful tool. So we've got ChatGPT and we've got Perplexity. Let's have a look at what's next. Next AI tool that you should absolutely use is Canva. I use it all the time for, as you can see, creating my thumbnails, but also documents. I created a book. This is book 2 that should be coming out soon. And yeah, Canva, really good. Lots of AI tools. Drag your pictures in there. There's loads of pictures for you to choose from, especially if you have the Pro account. You can actually use this for free. If you have the Pro account, you get access to a whole load of other templates and pictures, etc. You can edit photos. I've done a video about it here. If you want to learn all about Canva, go for it. That's where you go. Dead easy to use. Maybe a little bit complicated. Maybe a little bit complicated to use, or a bit overwhelming when you first see it. But get in, give it a go, and watch the video, and you will be very quickly using a tool that sort of blows PowerPoint, Word, all of these things out of the water, and it's just dead easy to use. Lots of AI involved. You can get lots of different things for it. Canva, really, really good. Next tool I can't do without is Midjourney. Put the link in there for Midjourney. This is really how you create the most amazing pictures. You can do pictures and it's improved no end in ChatGPT, especially 4.0. And if you want text in it, then it's really good. But Midjourney, just focus on images and just look at some of the things that you can create. You create them from a prompt and it creates the pictures. You can edit them. I'll put my video up here of around Midjourney. Great fun. Just been updated with some of these things you can produce. Here we go. Princess having some chicken, I think. And this is the prompt that went in. So you can see the prompt and then you can sort of change and mess around with it. You'll really enjoy using Midjourney. I think it's free to start with, but if you use it a lot, then you're going to have to buy some extra credits. I've got a paid plan because I use it quite a lot. And yeah, Midjourney for producing graphics, I'm not sure there's anywhere better right now. And then we're going to go right at the cutting edge. This is Manus.im. It was really the first agentic tool that came out. And basically with Manus, you give it a task to do. This is it doing one in the background. It's creating a high-end interactive website. It's going out. It's producing the code for it. So it's writing the code. It's then putting the code out there. It's doing the research. It just will go through time after time. It will go through different methods of doing different activity and then produce you an output at the end. This was when it came out earlier this year, was just blow your socks away stuff. And O3, so ChatGPT O3 can do some of this. I think Manus is probably still the daddy in the agentic space, but we're seeing these things improve all the time. This is where it's at right now. And when you see what this can do for your business in your life, I would start with the easier stuff first and then move into things like Manus, that has just become effectively you get one request a day, which is really cool. And it was quite expensive up to that point, but they want people to use it more, so they're giving everyone a free request, and that's a big deal because it will go and work for 20, 30, 40 minutes to do your request. So Manus.im, really, really cool, and this is what I'm expecting to develop over the next 6-12 months and be the real game changer in the market. Okay, so what can you use this technology for? And of course, it's really cool. It looks very cool, but if it's no use in the real world, then what's the point? Well, you can use it enormously. So you can use it for content creation. I use it for content creation. I create my scripts. It supports my thumbnails. I use Canva for my thumbnails. It can help me with video edits. My editor has AI built in as well. It helps me produce my descriptions. It makes sure that they're SEO optimized, best as they can be. Great for content creation. One of the tools that uses AI the most, I guess, is our customer support chatbots. So you can load up all of your business information and then have effectively an intelligent customer support agent that can chat with your customers and give them the answers, produce documents, etc. Really useful part of it. Data analysis is one of the areas where ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini really excel. You can throw a load of data. It might be financial reports. It might be a whole load of data you've collected on your customers, etc. And then you can literally have a conversation with that data. You can ask it questions. It will give you answers. You can ask it to create graphs and documents. You can ask it to analyze, find patterns. Really good at doing that. Yeah, data, superb. Coding. Now, there is no doubt that the the ability to start coding. They call it vibe coding. The ability to start coding using ChatGPT exists. I was able to build the prompt builder with no Python coding experience, from no Python coding experience, in an afternoon, deploy it on GitHub, get Streamlit to create the app, and then put it on my website, all asking ChatGPT to go through every stage with me. Really, really cool. Claude, excellent for coding. I'm not a coder, but you can start coding today using ChatGPT, because I did it a couple of weeks ago. And then personal productivity using the AIs. So often, a lot of people may have access to Copilot in Microsoft. And for a relative, I think £20 a month, you can have access to Copilot. It gives you underlying Copilot is ChatGPT. So you can use it to create documents. You can use it to look at your emails, to give you summaries of documents, to help draft responses to various things. So that personal productivity side, really important. I use AI every day, not once, not twice, but many, many times every day, whether it's Perplexity to search something, whether it's ChatGPT to give me a view on something, to help me understand a particular area, or to brainstorm ideas, that sort of thing. Use that all the time. I create pictures to amuse my colleagues sometimes. If I've got data, if I've got a big document or data that I need to really understand, drop into ChatGPT, and I've got that information at my fingertips. So the way you interact with the LLMs is through prompting, whether it's creating a picture, it's getting a document looked at. And there is no doubt that getting better at prompting will 10x, 100x the responses and the fun that you have with your LLM. So what I did was create a tool. So if you go to the professor.info and go to tools and then prompt builder, you just need to log in. It doesn't cost anything, but logging in just helps me protect the website. And you go into the prompt builder, you tell it what you're trying to achieve with AI. You say, I want to write a blog about healthy eating. I want to analyze a big chunk of data in some financial reports. You then put in what prompt style you want, and you have a choice: formal, concise, conversational. If I'm doing a blog, I might do conversational or creative or friendly. If I'm doing some work that is where I'm looking for a response that I might be using at work, I might do formal or concise. And you basically put your question in, you press continue. It will then ask you a series of questions. You answer the questions, and it will give you a really detailed, meaty prompt to put into ChatGPT or into Perplexity or into Claude or Gemini, whichever LLM you're using. So it's there, it's free. Please use it. I get about maybe 50 people use this every day to create their prompts. I use it to create my prompts. When you see some of my more complex videos, the prompts have been created on the prompt builder. Really useful tool, absolutely free to use. Please go and use it, knock yourself out. Okay, so that's the basics. What can we expect next? So this year is apparently the year of agentic AI, and we've seen with Manus and O3 the rise of the power of agents. OpenAI's got a tool called Operator that will go off and do things through a web browser. Manus uses its own browser as well and has its own computer that it will run things for you on. I think that agents are incredibly powerful. Still not the easiest thing to use, but really powerful. And you link those with automations like make.com, then suddenly you've got something enormously exciting. So agents, I think we're seeing that. I think they'll continue to develop. It'll be really superb. The next, I think we will see even more multimodal opportunities, even more multimodal facets of the large language models. We've already got voice and pictures, but and sound and conversation. It's okay. It's not brilliant yet. I can see that improving no end, so that the interface with the AI will change from being what can feel like a very sort of keyboard interface to just much more of a conversational. They're built on human conversations, and you treat them that way. It certainly feels like rather than me giving it instructions, I'm having a conversation with it. So I think that that multimodal bit will improve. I think we're seeing the size of the context window that you can use. So the context window is how much information you can put in to the LLM, and that is limited, and the different models have different sizes of context window. I think Google is probably the largest one, but think about being able to put a whole book in and then have a discussion with that book. I think you can probably already do that, but there will be cases where you want to put libraries in and have that conversation, and so that a larger context window will give you more power to do things with the LLMs. And while we're talking about larger LLMs, I think we're also going to see smaller ones as well. So ones that can run on edge devices like mobile phones or watches perhaps, and they are smaller but give you while not the depth of knowledge that you might get in the larger models, will give you the functions that you get in the models in your smaller devices. So I think the small language models, the SLMs, will still be very useful and can be deployed offline and that sort of thing. That's really helpful. Okay, well, before I finish, I guess need to talk about ethics and governance, and because these are issues that come up a lot when I'm talking to my colleagues and I'm talking to businesses. So there is no doubt that if the LLMs have been taught on all the knowledge that's currently available, then they will carry all the biases that are currently available. So you do have to be careful. If you ask ChatGPT to create a picture of a professor, that professor generally looks like me and isn't a woman, doesn't have dark skin, generally looks like me. And so that's a sort of inbuilt bias that's in there. Because we know those biases are there, you can offset for them, create me a diverse set of professors, and then you can choose from them, that sort of thing. And as the data improves and as people use it more, I would hope that the LLMs will start losing some of those biases. But at least we know they're there, so you can work around them. The next thing, and this is something that particularly annoys my daughter, who is a photographer, is the transparency. Where does the information come from? And because it's not all stored in a big library and it can't be referred to in that way, then it can feel like it's a bit non-transparent. And, I think we need to be really aware that there is a difference between what a large language model produces and what a human produces from their mind and their discussions. These are not tools that they look like they are thinking, they look like they're considering, and maybe they do those things, but not from a human perspective, not yet anyway. So I think we do need to be careful to protect particularly the arts, where people will craft a skill over many, many years, create beautiful works of art, and getting an LLM to just produce you a picture that's similar is not quite right, is it? And I think we should continue to really value the skills of the human being, and perhaps when LLMs take over lots of roles in society, that particularly human skill will be valued even more. Let's hope so. Now, there is an act in the UK, at least in the EU, the EU AI Act, and that came in February 2025, and there's some obligations starting to bring in. It's complex, it's difficult, it will create challenges for the LLMs, and already There are some parts of what's available in the rest of the world that are not available in the EU and the UK. This is something we're going to have to manage. Now, I think it is right that we are governing AI. It's incredibly powerful. It could get out of hand. I think that, there are people that think it will get out of hand. I think having some governance around it is important, but we need to balance that with giving people access to the best technology as soon as it's available. So that's difficult. And I guess my final tip would be that LLMs do things called hallucination, make things up, create up crap. And they do it in different amounts depending on the task you're giving them. Different models do it a bit more than other models. But the important thing is that if you're using an LLM, if you're creating some activity, some work, then you need to retain responsibility for it. It's no good giving somebody bad advice produced by an LLM. If they've taken the advice from you, then they expect you to be able to stand by it. And I guess that's how you make sure that you stay the right side of using it and maintaining responsibility for the outcomes. Okay, that's LLMs. Now, I am a fan. I wouldn't have made 70, 80 videos on AI if I didn't think it was something that had the ability to change the world. It has the ability to change the world, but I think it also has the ability to change your life, to make it easier, more exciting, more interesting, give you access to tools and capabilities that you just wouldn't have had access to 3 years ago. They're really important. And part of the reason I have this channel is because I speak to lots of businesses, I speak to lots of colleagues around the university, etc. And many of them are not using LLMs. They're scared of the technology. They're worried about the impact it might have on their lives, on their ethical stance, all that sort of stuff. And all of those things are real. But I think the worst thing that people can do is to hide from this technology. What I'm asking is have a go, grasp it. It will make a difference. You will be impressed. I promise you, you will be impressed. You will find something that the LLM can help you with. And once you go down that rabbit hole, there's so much that this technology can do to help you. And I've created videos, many, many videos about it. Go and have a look. I'll list loads of them down below, but go and have a look at the channel and pick them off. Start watching the videos and start having a play with this wonderful technology. That's all I ask. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to get value out of it. I don't want you to be left behind. You're not going to be left behind. If you've watched this video, you're going to have a play. You're not going to be left behind. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch all of my videos. I basically put one out every week. And so ring the bell and you'll be told about all the videos. If you've got something you would specifically like me to cover, whether it's a use case, whether it's a large language model or a different AI tool or something like that, just drop it in the comments below. I love to hear from you. And if I can do it, I'll do it. I've been the Professor. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.